It's because you're doing something with Louis, I guess.
Yeah. I have to. It's a very quick shoot, but it's I have to be there by 9:30, so I'm leaving here at 8:30.
Oh, that's good.
To get my van. There's a van over on 3rd Avenue.
I have to be home by 9:30, so I'm going to leave here now.
What?
I'm kidding.
The fuck is this
course.
bullshit?
Whoa, no, Chip, I was just
I'll just
kidding.
go over to Opie's and blow out candles. How come we're here? How come I didn't get invited to the fucking party? I'm fun of the party.
Is there a fucking party going on?
I'll fucking kick the cake and shit.
You think
Happy
that'd
birthday, motherfuckers.
I think that'd get laughs, Chip.
Dude, whenever I see a birthday cake, I think of smashing it.
Yes.
Not that I would do it, but I'm 43, and every time I see a cake, a festive moment of occasion, I want to fucking smash it. And just, like, ruin like everybody would go, like, oh, that's not funny. Like, oh.
Yeah. Do you play it out in your head, like, how embarrassing it would be?
Yes.
If it happened? I do that all the time. I don't know. I don't do the things, but I think of, like, the most horrible, embarrassing things you could possibly do.
Like, what would happen if I just smashed the cake with my fist, hoping for a laugh? And everybody was like, what do you do? You ruined it.
Everyone would just be mad.
Yeah.
Just be angry at you.
Bill Burr had a great bit in his act a few years ago about being at a street fair with his girlfriends and having some woman just having these home-baked muffins and how he wanted to just punch the muffins and smash them while he looked at the lady in the eyes.
Just smash her dumb muffins. I sometimes get like a more of a, I guess, violent fantasy. Sometimes I just want to. If you see old ladies pushing their carts in the supermarket, I really want to punch them in the face, like really hard. And I just look at how easily their fucking little frail jaw would break.
Yeah, and then rape them, right?
No, Chippa.
No, but don't you start to think, like, what would that do to my career? Like, if you punch a lady in the face, you know how much trouble you'd get in?
You get in so much trouble. But it's like, you don't do it. You think about it and then play it out. I don't know what that satisfies in a person, to think about it and then play it out. What would happen after you do that?
I'll tell you what it does. It separates us from sociopaths who actually go, I want to push that woman in front of the train, and then never play it out and just shove.
And you just do it.
Yeah, we play it out. Like, everyone has weird urges, but if you don't act on them, that's the difference between us and fucking kooks.
I think it's also this thing that, like, you can do it. There's not a wall stopping you from doing these terrible things. It's only your own sanity keeping you from doing it. So I think it's that accessibility to this nasty or horrible thing that makes you think about it and then play it out like, oh boy, you play out the consequences in your head. And even though you never do it in the first place, I think playing out the consequences, I don't know what it does.
It's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. I don't know why we do that.
I always think about that. Like, I always think about pushing people in front of trains and stuff. And think about little things that I would do. Like, think about how dramatically my life would change if in this one second I did that.
Right.
Like, everything would be different from that point on.
I've absolutely thought that, too. It's like that fork in your life's road.
I could create a fork here.
Yeah, I could make a fork right here and completely change my entire fucking life. Wow, in like a second.
Yeah.
It would never be the same after this.
That's
that's what I always think.
Never be the same.
I guess that's why we do it. I don't know. It's not really a reason, though. Like, what
like, if somebody bends down to tie their shoe or something, I go, like, think about how dramatically my life would change if I stomped on the back of their head as hard as I could right now.
All right.
And it would be so different.
Yeah. There's that. There's the violent things, and then there's just the embarrassing things of, like, I remember when my sister used to have these recitals. Even as a kid, I would think of that, like running up on the stage and just going, and doing like some dumb dance. And of course, my sister would be crying, and my parents would be pissed off.
And it was nothing creative or clever or worth doing.
It would just be me going, all retarded and shit. And yeah, like, but it would be, I'd play it on my head, and I'd literally feel that embarrassment feeling. I don't know.
And then you'd be like, well, I can't. I'm always afraid I'm going to do something like that, and then go, oh my God, I did it.
I did it.
I can't believe I did it.
Yes, that's another thing that comes into play. You think like, oh God, what if I did it and then didn't realize I did it until after I did it?
Right.
Now I'm out of control. That's the out of control psycho, though.
That's the psycho.
You hope you never fall over that fucking cliff.
Like coming to the realization, like, oh my God, there's consequences now, and they're real.
Yeah.
This is actually happening now.
I can't undo it.
Right.
Yeah, those are the dreams that I have all the time, too, is that I am in some bad situation where something has happened. I'm an accomplice to something, and the cops are starting to fucking find out what I did. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to prison. This sucks. I don't want to go. And then you wake up and it's like, oh, I'm out of trouble.
Yeah,
oh, that was easy. I guess that's why people that are really in trouble go like, oh, I wish it please let this be a dream, please. Can I just wake up and end this?
Like, you ever think when a cop's standing there just run over and shaking his gun? Like, not taking it, but just shaking it.
Oh, my God.
How much trouble you'd get in?
That's the one I've definitely thought of. I know I've been in line behind a cop at like whatever, at a 7-Eleven or something, and I'll look at his gun and I'll think about how dramatically my life would change if I took the gun out of his holster and shot him right now.
Holy shit.
Oh, you really taking a step.
Everything would be different.
Blasting.
Everything would be totally different. But in that moment, it'd be like, whoa.
I did it.
This is crazy.
This is insane.
It's never like snapped in there. Like it's always just out. Like you could totally just go for it because I know what you're talking about. And
Holy shit.
It's just, and you think like I'm faster than this fucking guy. Like he's not even paying attention.
Oh man,
that's the accessibility thing. Like it's possible.
Yeah, it's right there.
There is free will. You can do this.
It's what it is. Free will.
See, I never think about pulling it out because I always try to base it in reality. I always think I'd never get it out. I always just think about shaking it and going like, ah! Like, what would he do? How fast would he fucking knock my teeth out?
Fucking be on the floor in a second.
Yeah, or if you just asked him for it. Have your gun. What could he do if you asked for it?
But in your fantasy, you're just a weirdo who thinks that's like a good joke. Like shaking the gun.
A good-natured ribbon. Like pow pow.
Sam is just a fucking psycho.
Yeah. Well, I don't do it.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. What's the line between? There isn't not even thinking about it and doing it. Okay, there's not even thinking about it,
right,
and then actually doing it.
That's the spectrum.
Now, in between is you think about it for a split second. It's like, oh my God, that's terrible. Or you playing out that you actually take it. Now you're shooting him.
I stare at the gun the entire time I'm online. Like, how would this play out? And what are the different scenarios?
Man.
Because they change everything in a minute, in a second.
And it beats looking at your phone because at least you're using your brain and your imagination.
Right. I am.
See that?
I'm imagining how to ruin my life.
That's healthy.
But it really does change. Now that there's the internet and you can watch everything online, it changes your imagination. Like your imagination used to be fun. Now it's like just reenacting fucking things you've seen on
horrible things from the fucking
websites,
internet. Wow. I never thought of that.
You know what I think about sometimes? I was at I was waiting for a plane, and I was waiting at the gate, and there was like a bar nearby, so I had a beer, and they gave me a glass. And I was thinking about how easy it would be, because I had my carry-on luggage, to just finish the drink. Now I have glass. I could just throw that in my bag. No one's ever going to know. Now I have a glass in my bag. Now I take that on the plane. I give it a kick or two, break the glass. Now I have shards of glass on a plane that I could now stab people with and do whatever I want.
Yeah,
and then I would think about how, well, after that day, no airport ever in the United States would ever serve glassware.
Oh, so you could change everything.
I could change the world
for the better.
Yeah, either that or you just step on the glass and realize you were married to a Jew on the plane.
Well, both scenarios would be troublesome.
You could change the way people have to live.
Yeah, and I mean, and then I would, and then my full name, my 3 names would be in the paper the next day on the front page. So I'd be like, hey, I could be famous for a week and really change things.
And then they could have like the Danny Ross restriction.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like my law, Danny's law.
Yeah, Danny's law. No glasses in the terminal ever.
Even though it wouldn't be as impactful, I think the whole thing would be funnier if it was just you jumping on your sister's recital stage and going,
I used to think of that, man. It was just embarrassing. I'd cringe.
You were like,
all the people would be looking at me like, what is he doing? Is he retarded?
But did you look at the aisle like to see, well, if I just ran up the aisle,
and
I could jump on stage.
I'd see the stairs going up to the stage and be like, I could just run up there.
What was the dance you wanted to do?
It was, it was actually, and I remember my sister's wearing some thing. It was like the Holland. It was like somewhere from Holland. So she had wooden shoes on and that little Holland bonnet and stuff. And she was like dancing, going, I have got a pair of wooden shoes, pretty wooden shoes, little wooden shoes. This is how I dance away when blues with my pair of wooden shoes.
How do you remember every lyric?
Because I thought about running up there and going, I thought about it a lot.
and taking everything your sister worked so hard for and practiced for and just making a mockery in front of everyone.
It would ruin my sister. She would be like fucking devastated because it's her little fucking solo recital. And my mom would be like, oh, my dad would call me a faggot.
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
My wooden shoes.
Jesus Christ. Son of a bitch. Look at him up there. Jesus Christ.
Look at him up there.
Yeah. Ro, what'd you do to him? Oh, shut up, Joey. That's what would happen. Oh, God. Yeah.
And the dance is funny because people can't see, but the arms are out.
Yeah, because the arms are out by the
crucifixion pose almost.
So you got to like, I just look like a buffoon up there.
It's like the way that you'd put your arms out if you were trying to describe a fat person.
Yes. I just, that would be horrible.
Anthony Boy does the wooden shoe dance.
The wooden
spoils
shoes.
the recital.
I wrecked the dance by doing the wooden shoe dance.
You know how great it would be if you had done it and you could tell that story now.
Oh, my God.
You know how great that would have been?
I never knew I was going to be on radio back then, so I just, I thought I'd look silly and not be like, oh, boy.
I got a great story.
In 1,000 years, I'm going to have a great fucking radio story. How I ruined my sister's recital.
The wooden shoes or something.
Doing the wooden shoe dance.
That sounds like an awful song in fairness.
Oh, it was terrible. And I had to listen to it over and over while she practiced at home. This is how I dance away my blues with my pair of wooden shoes.
Fucking good.
No. Oh, you're going to rock it up?
Yeah, you fucking hot dance with my blues.
Puppies?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would wash.
I'll kick your ass at wooden shoes.
Yeah. Well, I hope we all keep our sanity and never delve into, grabbing a cop's gun and shooting him or
just saying bad things.
Yeah.
Like saying inappropriate, like saying shitty cunt at a bad time. Like when you're when your mother's friends are talking or
oh man, yes.
You know what I've sometimes thought about? I've thought even for when I was younger, I thought about how yelling horrible things to my mother right to her face and how much it would hurt her feelings. I've totally thought about it. Just looking at her and be like, shut the fuck up, idiot. And just how hurt she would be by it.
Dude, I thought there was one Christmas, I'm over at my grandma's house where every relative is there.
Yeah.
And they're pretty fucking, Italian. And my grandmother was walking around doing something, and I thought what everyone would do if I just stood up and went, shut up, you fucking cunt. And
wouldn't it be funny if you did it and they all just stood and applauded?
Finally, somebody said it.
It had to be said.
But I thought that, and then I was trying to get it out of my head because I felt so bad.
And do you picture what her face would look like? Like how hurt? Like what? Nobody's ever talked to me like that.
Why would he do that?
I've been so nice.
And I tried to forget it, but the more I tried to forget it, the more I was thinking about it, and it wouldn't go away. And then I started to equate my grandmother's face with cunt, and I'm like, this is terrible. I have to stop doing this.
You go down on a girl, you start thinking about your grandma.
Oh God, that would suck. Yeah, that was pretty horrific.
Just
man,
it just hurting feelings because that would also change everything. Like your grandmother would always
look at me as the guy that called her cunt
for no reason
on Christmas
whatsoever.
Yeah,
it would change everything. It would be unchanged. It would be unfixable.
Yeah.
God, what is that? Why is that? I don't understand why we do that.
It's probably got something. It's like the same thing that helps you be funny. Like that same weird mental reaching that you. It's like a weird mental exercise, like where you just kind of fucking. You're just throwing jabs mentally in your head.
Yeah,
it's like a weird workout. And it's like when you're being funny, you're thinking about weird shit to say and weird places to put inappropriate statements. It's kind of the same thing.
Church does that too. When you're at a funeral or something, and you're just thinking about standing up in the middle of the silence and just saying an awful thing about the person.
I always wanted to ruin a wedding. Like when they go, if there's anybody, who feels that this couple should not be married. I always wanted to be like, yeah, me, and then just say something really terrible.
Yeah. She's a cunt and I fucked her a bunch of times.
Oh, man. I thought
honestly, I would love to do that.
You both would love to do at my own wedding.
When the father's walking her down the aisle, just getting up and smacking her in the face. That's totally. It sounds like, totally. Just get up and fucking smack her in the face.
Oh, the hush said.
it's just like weird feeling that you know in your brain, like I'm capable, just with my brain and my body, of ruining everything.
I got legs.
Yes, I get up. You're always prepared. There's no tools required to do this.
Yes.
In a moment's notice.
Oh, I could do this if I had a wrench.
Oh, if only I had.
No, you don't
you
need
can
it.
do it right now.
Like at any given moment, I could ruin everything. Even for myself, I could ruin my life anytime I want.
Ruin your life.
Or an email you can send out, or a racist tweet, or a racist text. You could just send somebody something so horrible.
Oh, well.
Then watch, but watching that bar go once you've hit send and how unchangeable that is. Like you said something to your boss or something.
Like to your boss, which is the most heinous shit about like his wife or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be terrible. Yeah, and you have that power. It's just...
It's probably the control thing, because it's so difficult to make your life awesome, but it's like so easy to make your life horrible. So you're like, well, at least I did it.
I did something.
I made my life horrible.
You could ruin someone else's life, too, though.
Right.
Like a wedding like that, just ruining someone's wedding.
Do you think that would be a part of the wedding memory? If, like, on the way up the aisle, one of the guests slapped the bride in the face?
Oh, my God. Or not even in the face, just stomach, punch her in the stomach so she doubles over and shits herself.
Give her a nice ass pat as she's going down the aisle.
Or just rip her fucking top open so her tits are hanging out in front of her dad.
Or don't even touch her. As they're walking up the aisle, just get in the aisle in front of them and go like,
do your little retard.
They wooden shoes.
Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. Ugh, you fucking pig. Oh, man. Oh, man, that would be bad.
She's just looking
and the
at you
father's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Shut up, old man. You probably fucked her. Oh, just get like really rude.
What's better than 200 people gasping at the same time?
Oh.
That sound is amazing.
She's just looking at you like, why would you do that?
They would stop walking, or they would stop walking. Like, is this part of the wedding?
How fast before like the ushers and fucking the whole bridal party like grabs you though and fucking just throws you out of the place?
That's the best part
beats you
about
up.
this Bill Burr bit, because he brings that up and he does say, you know, you'd have some time because of the shock value that is put in place. Like how many muffins could I actually punch and squeeze before somebody was like, hey, wait a second, what are you doing?
What is he doing? Yeah, because there's that moment where people are just trying to process it.
Yeah, and you'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, no one ever jumps right to action. You have to process
punch her
it.
muffins.
We have to play the bit now. We can save it for after the discussion.
Yeah,
but
it's so funny.
You'd also ruin the bride's life, because the bride would be after that going, what did I do to deserve this?
Right. And
the
her
truth
whole
is,
wedding memory is just that.
And it was just an act of randomness. She did nothing to deserve it. It was just a random
Just
act.
because you could do it, you did it. And fucked her whole fucking memory up of her, the greatest day in her life.
It's kind of like Project Mayhem on a more subtle level.
Yeah, more personal.
Yeah, but it's definitely along the same lines. It's like, you know what, let's just fucking blow up a credit building. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's destroy some corporate artwork because we can and it sucks.
Or things you could say on a plane even. Like, I've thought of that too. Like, I could literally have this flight landed and ruin my career, because your career, NBC would never let me on Leno again. I could never do this or that.
You'd be the crazy airplane
You would be
guy,
the crazy racist on the plane, or the crazy whatever on the plane. You would wreck things in an unfixable way.
Wow,
Never go back to normal.
Kind of like Fight Club again, to bring it up. But you ever kind of pray that something goes down on the plane? Not
really.
pray that it goes down, but like if it was going down, you wouldn't be scared. It would be kind of exciting almost.
Yeah, because it's part of your fantasy, like to stop whatever's happening.
Well, no, not like that. But like if
like
the plane
a crash.
Yeah, kind of like
man.
like not a lot of people get to experience that. So like if that was going down, would you be just frozen in fear, or would you take the time to just kind of be like, well, I'm gonna
just be able to
I'm gonna experience it
and experience it? Wow, that's fucking
You'd be
psycho.
frozen in fear for all your instincts would override your desire to go, wow, let me process this fun moment.
I wonder if anyone ever did do that fantasy thing they think of, though, and like, I'm just going to grab the first bitch I see and fuck her. like a plane goes down, they find a body, just, guy fucking a chick. There's a penis in a vagina.
His severed arm is fingering her.
Or, I always think, like, if my flight ever switches, like, if Kenny ever changes my flight, a part of me secretly hopes that the flight I was supposed to be on crashes, just so I can have an amazing story.
He'll sacrifice the plane full of people, so it's like,
But I do think that all
So
the
you could
time.
tweet about it.
Yeah, just like go, I was supposed to be on that flight. People can go, really? Oh my God! Thank God, I must be meant to be here.
they give you positive. Yeah, God intended for me to stay.
This does make sense. Somebody here is saying this discussion is called Three Guys That Aren't Married and Have No Kids.
Yeah.
I guess you think differently. But do you think differently like that?
I don't know, because I think the same thing. I mean, maybe, but when I see little kids, I think, like, imagine how hard I could kick that kid, and imagine the damage it would do to me in my life.
Yeah.
That's another thing, too. You could just grab a kid and smash him onto the ground.
Right.
And,
The parent wouldn't have time to stop
you're
you.
fucked. Yeah, you're pretty
Pick
fucked
the kid up and throw him on the floor.
Yeah, the uncles grab you, make you leave the party.
Do they, Uncle Paul? What
Sure.
happens there?
They call the police. You're all black and blue.
The only thing I could think of that would change by having a kid was now I could just direct these fantasies towards the kid and be like, I could fucking punch this kid in the like your kid's screaming and crying and you just don't want to deal with it. And you would probably just fantasize about pouring boiling hot water onto the kid's stomach or whatever. I think that's the only thing that would change. Like, you'd still have those thoughts.
As we're talking, I looked at this headline: Washington man accused of hitting noisy kid at theater charged.
Oh, see?
Fucking the guy was with his girlfriend or whatever watching Titanic 3D, and he punched a 10-year-old in the face for being noisy.
Yeah, hard enough to loosen up a tooth.
Loosen the tooth.
probably
and,
gone.
It's gone. The tooth.
He punched him in the face. Like, we've all thought of that.
Yeah.
But he said he just got so mad and just did it. Like,
What a
wow.
pussy, though. A 10-year-old? Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Wait till some fucking adults are on their phones. Yeah, and then try punching them in the face.